So you said that you didn't finish your 5th year of college. So was it at that 4th year you decided, okay, I'm going to become a priest?
Yeah. Well, technically I had 2 years because of the co-op that I was doing.
Okay.
So that expanded it out to 6 years.
Okay.
So, and now that I think about it, I might have been doing that just to lengthen the amount of time that I needed to discern. I'm psychoanalyzing myself. Yeah. But I had 2 years left. I had about 2 years left. Otherwise, if I only had 1 year left, I remember even Father David Conderla saying to me, if it was only 1 year left, then I would say, go ahead and finish out the degree and then go into the seminary from there, just to have that completed, have a bachelor's degree completed. And then you can bring that with you into the seminary, and it counts for certain requirements. And then you can go into what's called a pre-theology program, where you're not an undergraduate, you're taking master's level courses in theology and philosophy, and then you get your master's. So in theology. Was
there a breaking point, like one particular point when you said, okay, this is the point where I really decided to become a priest?
Yeah, it was a very powerful, prayerful moment. It was really moments of prayer is where these decisions, where the Lord was leading me to make important decisions. So it was, I can't remember the exact date. It was definitely the spring of 2000 or 2000, the spring of 2000, 2001. I can't remember now. It's been so long. I think it's 2001. And I remember just doing my daily prayer, and I felt Jesus next to me at night as I was laying down to go to sleep. And he said, I have a very beautiful or precious gift that I want to give you, and kind of fell asleep with that. And then when I woke up in the morning, all the fear, all the hesitancy to do what I knew was God's will, which was to go into the seminary, had just completely dissolved. It was just the most powerful, freeing moment. And so that's when I made the appointment with Father David. It was very good. He was very good in making himself available that very day to meet with me. And that's when I told him, and of course I wanted to check in with him as well, but I told him, this is what I've experienced, and we have already been talking for 2 years. And I said, I think I'm ready to go into the seminary. And in that huge, important moment, for me, it was very important. It was pivotal, right? Life-changing.
Yes.
And Father David says, okay, all right, well, give Father Clint a call. And that was it. There wasn't like any more discussion for him. I think for him, it was like, it's about time.
Or he probably saw it in your eyes too.
Yeah, I think so.
He probably said, I know this look.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Because he had helped quite a few men before that. I mean, being a priest at a college campus ministry. Yeah. I'm sure he's had experience with that.
So how long was this after you had broken up with a girlfriend?
This would have been a couple years.
Okay, so no contact anymore with her?
No, not really. Well, I think we might have exchanged emails and just, maybe come in contact in different environments where there might have been a wedding or something like that. Yeah, but there was nothing more. Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with her still?
Not really. No
Facebook stalking or anything like that?
No Facebook. I actually closed my personal Facebook account.
Really?
Yeah, because it was getting out of hand. All 1,700 of my closest friends were connected to me, and it was kind of scary because, again, this is a personal account. I have a fan page, which is totally malfunctioning right now. But anyway, but the personal account, yeah, and some of the folks were posting some inappropriate stuff, and it was getting kind of hairy. So anyway, so I closed it down. But no, but I was connected to her on Facebook. We were keeping in touch, but no, it's been years since we've spoken.
So at that point, when you decided you were all in, there was no call to her saying, "Okay, sorry, yeah, this is it."
There might have been. I just don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. She was at my ordination though.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was at my ordination with her boyfriend.
That's cool.
Yeah, her boyfriend, her husband. I just all these details, man. I think because at the time it was. The man who was her boyfriend would have been either her husband or they would have still been dating. But yeah, they came to the ordination.
Now, you talked about possibly becoming a military chaplain.
Yeah.
Now, this is very close to me because I grew up with my dad in the military. So I had a lot of military chaplains, with the CCE classes and all of that, and you see them all. You go to mass,
wow.
and yeah. So why didn't that work out? What happened there?
Well, what happened there was it was really a discernment to see, is this what God wants me to do? Because I have a great love for the military. I believe in the mission of the military.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the goodness of the United States, the American experiment. I really believe that it has its roots in Judeo-Christian principles, and I think it's worth defending. And so I thought about that. Am I being called to serve in that way? So I went through the whole what's called the chaplain candidacy program. So like I said, there was basic training where you get yelled at for 5 weeks. And then there was the 2 weeks of orientation where they tell you about the chaplain, what it is to be a military chaplain. And there were some things that were very attractive about the life. But there were some things also that led me to doubt if this is really what he wants me to do. So one of those was when they showed me, they showed all of us photos of what it looks like going into a field hospital when there is combat.
Oh, yes.
And they showed me the images, and I got super nauseous. Now, I've seen gory movies. I didn't get sick.
Yes.
But when it's real,
yes,
I just don't think I could handle it.
Walking into that situation.
I mean, they were showing people, these soldiers, poor soldiers that were just torn to pieces. And it was so hard for me to look at.
Kind of like that scene in Saving Private Ryan where the guy's dying and the guy's, giving him his, confessing.
and trying to put himself together and all that stuff. And actually some of the stuff I saw in those photos was worse than Saving Private Ryan.
Wow.
So it was just really, I felt very nauseous. And so that was one of the doubts that I had. It's kind of like when I was younger, before thinking about engineering, I wanted to be a doctor. And then I took biology, and I found out that I really hated these long Latin words. And that was pretty much it, actually. That's what got me out, which is ironic because I'm a big supporter of Latin in our liturgies. So anyway, but that was one thing. And then it was, I did get the chance after I was ordained to serve a little bit more. And so celebrating Mass for the trainees at Lackland Air Force Base. And it was kind of a gut thing that, no, this isn't where the Lord is leading me. So, yeah.
During those weeks, you said that you were yelled at a lot. So it was you and a whole bunch of other chaplain candidates, right? Yeah,
they put us together with other chaplain candidates of different faith denominations and lawyers. And doctors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what they do is they go ahead and commission us depending on how much experience we have.
Yes.
So there was a doctor that had 20 years experience as a doctor, and so they incentivize if they're trying to recruit you. So the incentive is you come in as he came in as a lieutenant colonel, which is an 05, I think, in the ranks. If people are familiar with that language. There's like standard ranks, and so you also get paid more.
A certain amount.
Exactly. So anyway, of course I wasn't even a priest yet. So they gave me the 2 butter bars. So I was second lieutenant, lowest on the pole. But anyway, so we were all grouped together, and it really was a good experience.
So they weren't that easy on you? I mean, thinking that,
They were definitely easier on us than what they would do with
regular recruits.
Enlisted trainees. Because again, when I helped them out, it was they do it for 8 weeks. And also easier than what they would do with other actual combat officers, the one who would be in training.
I figured if it was just chaplain candidates are like, okay, we can't do the cursing as much.
Yeah. No, I don't remember there ever being any cursing. I don't remember their cursing. So
you got the boot camp light.
It was definitely light. It was definitely light because I remember they yelled at us for 2 weeks straight. I mean, it was
like, what kind of stuff did they say to you?
Oh, well, there's one that I remember that I actually really loved, and it was, I was marching in formation, and my squad, or actually they're called a flight in the Air Force, but it's like a squad, and I was leading the march down the sidewalk outside the complex to get into the dormitory that we had, and I decided to maybe crack a couple of jokes while doing that, and there was no drill sergeant around,
okay,
but there was one watching me doing that,
and
so he yelled out. and commanded me to guide the squadron over to him. And he was in front of another flight that had like 20 officers, right, that are in training.
Okay. And
he chews me out. And he says, what were you thinking? And I'm just standing there at attention in silence. What are you thinking? Smoking and joking in formation. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking to myself, I like that. Smoking and joking. That's like the best phrase ever. And I don't remember the rest of the conversation. And, he chewed me out some more and then he dismissed us. But that's the one thing that stuck with me. And so I actually have a group of priests that I invite and we go out somewhere. We'll go to a restaurant or something and have a few drinks, or maybe sit outside and smoke a few cigars and crack jokes. And so I call it smokes and jokes, to this day. So I learned that from the Air Force. That's the one thing I learned.
At that point, you're done with that, considering doing that. And then you just decide to go into
continue with the parish work.
Okay.
Yeah, because the way it works out is you're assigned to a parish, and then something gets worked out in the process where I would work with whatever commanding officer I would be assigned to, who helps with assignments, and then they would work with the bishop, with Cardinal DiNardo, and then from there, the personnel board for the archdiocese would look into that, and they would say, okay, this is how we can work out the assignment. So we know that you're going to be going. It looks like a good time is, this date, such and such date, to go ahead and go in for active duty. Especially because they know once you get orders from the federal government, that those are orders, and there's not a whole lot of flexibility after that. So anyway, that's how they would arrange it. Is in that way.
Did a lot of guys drop out with you because of those photos and those types of things? I actually don't know. I don't know. I didn't really follow up with a whole lot of the guys. I know that most of them got ordained priests. I think one of them didn't. But yeah, they continued as military chaplains. The priests that I know. I don't know about the rest that were different denominations.